Carnival.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. So our next conversation, you probably realized by now it's about Carnival, talking about Toronto Caribbean Carnival, business opportunities and partnerships that are on the cards and I think are already on their way to full fruition as well. So joining us this morning, we have Jennifer Hirlehey, who is the Executive Chair of Festival Management Committee of Toronto Caribbean Carnival. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us this morning.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And I mean, especially because this is such a hectic time for you. You are on the heels of Toronto Carnival.
That's right. We are in the throes of preparing for it. Really exciting year this year and looking forward to having the world come visit us.
I know many people who they can't wait to touch down on your soil and enjoy what would have been known as Carnival and now is Toronto Caribbean Carnival, and definitely continues to resonate with those who may be like second, third, even first generations as well. But let's jump straight into the business of Carnival, because we always talk about the revelry. We love to enjoy ourselves. We love to fet, but there's a massive business behind this and a great economic impact that needs to be discussed.
Correct. The Toronto Caribbean Carnival has an economic impact of $500 million.
Wow.
So $500 million in impact. So that means your hospitality, your food, your restaurants, your hotels. So we are inviting the world, and especially Trinidad and Tobago businessmen and businesswomen to come to Toronto, get engaged in our community. We have 2.3 million people who attend our carnivals. So imagine the opportunities for business to reach out and touch all of that diaspora.
2.3 million people.
That's right.
Absolutely incredible. More than
and that's just people who are there. That's not what I'm talking about online. So we are really excited about that reach.
I love the fact that you mentioned online as well, because that really expands the business reach when it comes to a Caribbean Carnival as well. Now, one of the things that I noticed in a lot of your communications was the indication that FMC is going to extend Carnival beyond its cultural dimensions. Can you expound on that?
That's right. Everybody knows that Carnival, Trinidad is the motherland. We don't have to explain the impact of that. But we see the impact of our businesses. We need to reach our community. We need to develop it. We have a saying that in Toronto, our carnival is to be used as a vehicle for the upliftment of our community through business and education. So really we are pushing this business aspect of the carnival.
And definitely something I know many, of course, are going to be interested in, because it's a viable business and not just something that is seasonal. Have you found that something that you can relate to in Canada, that Carnival is a year-round business?
It is absolutely a year-round business. We have a number of events that are not just in the 1 month long events that we have in June and July and August, but we now have events all through the year, even in December. We have our parang events. There are so many events that we're exporting our culture, not only to Canada, but to Europe, to the United States, all over the world.
So this is shifting into what we can say is a very vibrant business hub, correct?
It is absolutely a powerhouse of business. The economic impact is just waiting to explode. We're inviting the world to come and invest in it, because really that is where the money is, and that is where people can reach this 2.3 million people, interact with our community, interact with our diaspora, and build wealth for our community and for the world.
Something that's so important, building wealth. Now, Jennifer, you did mention a few businesses, but let's get perhaps into a bit more detail about the businesses that you're looking for to come and invest and become a part of this annual.
Well, let's talk about food manufacturers and distributors. The market for West Indian food and Caribbean food in Toronto and in Canada is exponential. And so we're really welcoming and asking people who are in food product management, who in food product development, to come there. There's not only in the distribution, it's actually in creating and developing these products that are available in Toronto and Canada as a whole. You know, we always say companies like Angostura, we want them to come to Toronto. We invite them. There are so many opportunities for our community there. We're welcoming all of these communities and businesses.
And businesses as well. One of the things that also just came to mind is the fashion industry as well.
Absolutely. We are creating an event, for example, today in our official launch, an event to promote fashion. Design and carnival costume is so integrally created and linked that fashion is absolutely an industry that we will be welcoming as well.
It's wonderful to see that, because you see the reach of, Caribbean influence throughout the world. And you just did mention that this is not just for Toronto Carnival. This is something that's going worldwide that you are working on. So it's fair to say that those who are coming from the Caribbean, from Trinidad and Tobago, coming to Toronto, you can look forward to expanding your boundaries.
Absolutely. Yeah? We want people to come from all over the world. We're inviting the world to come. But when we talk about business, we're talking about the ability to interact with our diaspora. For example, our events, our VIP events, we're elevating those experiences so that we can have multiple touch points between businesses and our community. So we are creating an atmosphere where companies can really build on what we have, which is ability to reach our community, 2.3 million people.
That is so important. Two things that you just mentioned. I think many of our favorite words in the business industry, touch point, because we always need these to know what's going on, but also speaking about essentially inclusion, which I know is a theme that you're touching on. So let's get a bit of that.
What we say about the Toronto Carnival is very different. It's very different from the Trinidad Carnival. Toronto Caribbean Carnival, we have a saying that says, welcome home, because you will welcome home people from all over the Caribbean, not just people of African descent, people of Indian descent. Every single person who has Caribbean blood is part of this intrinsic beauty that is the Caribbean Carnival. And when we say we're including diversity, it's just not really about the Caribbean people as well. It's the world. We are welcoming the world. And when we say Toronto Caribbean Carnival, it's all of the Caribbean islands. So we have an event called Friday Night Mass, which is traditionally a Grenadian event. And so we have that event. We're welcoming all Grenadians to come see our carnival. But when we say it's diverse, we really mean all of the Caribbean and all of the world.
And definitely, it sounds so exciting, something not to be missed. Let's get into the dates, because the launch is in June, yes?
That's right. June 15th is our official launch. We're having a really excited, elevated event, so we welcome all of our visitors to that event. Obviously, we have the parade, which is August 3rd. We have our King and Queen. We have our junior parade. I believe it's July 15th. It's our junior events. So really, it's a month-long event. Come up, stay in our hotels, eat our foods, meet your people. This is the place to be for the next 2 months.
It sounds like it's the place to be. And it also sounds as though there's this opportunity for networking, which is something that's so important. How exactly is the committee bringing that to the fore?
Well, there's a number of ways that you can interact. We have forums. We are having fashion shows which encourage people, for example, fashion designers from all over the world, United States, Europe, to come in and interact in a way that is not generally the jump up.
Right.
It is learning also about the history of the carnival and the importance of emancipation. So there are a number of forums and ways we can reach our community and help people understand what is carnival and how it is different in Canada from Trinidad, but still intrinsically the same.
It's beautiful that you've mentioned that as well, so we're also keeping that history alive.
Absolutely.
Which is something that we need to do, aside from, of course, that main focus on business, because creating generational wealth needs to also be at the forefront of our minds as well.
And this is one of the most important pieces of our culture, and it's important that we build wealth from it for our community to develop for intergenerational wealth.
Agreed. Jennifer, any closing comments for us this morning as we wrap? We
would like to invite all of the businessmen to contact us at torontocarnival.ca. Visit us on Facebook, visit us on Instagram. Really, we are welcoming the world and businesses from all over. Thank you.
Excellent. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. All the best. I know you have a hectic schedule ahead of you, but I hope you get some time to enjoy yourself as well.
We're going to Maracas tomorrow, so absolutely going to enjoy ourselves.
Wonderful. And I know you're going to have a bacon shark too, so enjoy that.
Absolutely, we'll have that. Thank you and have a great day.
Our pleasure. Jennifer Hirlehey joining us this morning, Executive Chair of Festival Management Committee for Toronto Caribbean Carnival. You don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss the opportunity for investment. Stay tuned. There's more coming up on the Now Morning Show after this break.
Toronto, have the carnival.